Welcome to the Unapologetically Neurodivergent podcast, where we drop the mask, drop the shame, and say the quiet parts out loud about living with a brain that doesn't play by the rules. I'm James, a fitness and mind coach, and today I've got something a bit special. I'm joined by a very unapologetically neurodivergent married duo who just flew in Joe all the way from the US. A quick heads up before we dive in, this is unfiltered, unsanitized, and occasional swearing. We talk real life neurodivergent tales and whatever else comes up when we drop the mask. So let's do this. So, welcome Jessica and Joe to the podcast.
Thank you for having us.
So, you're both quite neurospicy. So, let us know who you guys are and what your day-to-day looks like, what you do for a living, etc. And just, introduce yourself.
Yeah, so by day, I run a real estate company, basically operations and all that kind of stuff. Pretty nerdy. Got to be like a little more on the masky side of things. And then by night, content creator and unofficial PR rep for this guy's book.
Oh, it's my turn? Let's see. Well, I have recently published a fantasy novel. Before that, I was in the military for a while, and then getting out, did random stuff, but now I just take care of things around the house and write books.
Executive assistant and a novelist.
And a personal chef.
And my personal chef. He literally did go to
I went
chef
to
school?
Yeah, I've gone to culinary school, but it's not something I want to do for other people.
It's like, oh my God, how did I not notice we were both so neurodivergent?
Well, I knew I was neurodivergent for
Yeah,
child.
but you only thought it was ADHD.
That's true.
Well, this is quite a nice segue, actually. It's like, so when did you first sort of clock that you were a bit spicier than most?
You first.
Well, when I was in elementary school is when they first sent me to get diagnosed, and they were like, oh, well, you have ADHD. And this was back in the early 90s. So at that point, I think at that point they were still calling it, Asperger's, I think is what it was at that point. Before they were like, let's move away from that, right? Well, at that point, it was like you have ADHD, and they didn't think there was some train of thought that ADHD didn't come with anything else. It was just ADHD. But I still had like moments where I would get like super like emotional or like cut off. Like my emotional regulation was way off. So they were like, oh, that's bipolar. And I'm like, but I don't have the manic episodes. It's just like somebody does something that I perceive as wrong. It's like I don't have all the emotional rungs. It's calm, die. There's not a lot between, right? It's like it's basically I'm Bruce Wayne, then Justice for Gotham. There's not a lot to go with. But they didn't diagnose anything after that, and then our son got diagnosed with autism, and we're like,
Oh.
I thought that was normal stuff.
So yeah. I know, I was like, what do you mean he needs to be in a special class? He's fucking normal.
Which I was in a special class, and I was mad about it.
He was always like, they put me in special ed, I'm not special.
I do math better than anybody else.
But, oh my gosh, yeah, so William, he's now 17, but whenever they were diagnosing him at the school, like my family, like mental health, you don't talk about it. Like that's not a thing, really, even though, like, let's see, two of my aunts and uncle have like literally been in, like, what do they call it?
Hospitalized, I guess?
Yeah, like put in, I'm trying to institutionalized. Yeah, so
we'll figure
it's
it out.
like,
we'll get there together.
but I'm like, knowing them, I'm like, they just needed specific help. They didn't need to be locked away. Like, I'm like, that's a whole nother thing. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is terrifying what can happen to you just because you're a little different. Shit. But since that was the case, whenever they said that, I was straight up mad. Like, I was like, you're not going to label my kid. If you label my kid, then he's going to start acting that out, because that's what I'd heard from my parents and my brother. And I was like, nope, literally was like, like confrontational, combative with the teachers. And so when we took him out of school?
No.
Oh, yeah. Mm,
We had other issue with teachers. The
yeah,
teachers that were supposed to be the special needs teacher.
yeah. It's so tough what kids go through. Like, he was always wanting to put his hood up in school. Like, he was what, 12? No, he was
No.
younger, like 8, 9, something like that.
Let's see, Joseph was a baby, so he would have been about 8. Been like 7 or 8.
And he just wanted to have his hood up because he felt comfortable. And he would behave and be quiet if he had his hood up. But the teacher was like, this is a form of defiance, like he won't listen to me, just was rough. And then she stripped him of it.
They held him down.
They held him down and he bit him. And I was like, I'll fucking do more to fight you.
It didn't end out well for them because I went to the school and they
Yeah.
never like it when I show up.
Yeah. So after all of that stuff happened, we took him out and all like even our youngest who just turned 11 today, actually, like he's never been to public school. So I'm like, screw that. Like, I'm not putting up with that anymore. Like, my kids are perfect the way that they are, and like we help them function in life. But at that point, I was like, no, you're not diagnosing him. But for whatever reason, we did end up diagnosing
We
him.
ended up getting it.
Or getting him
Getting his
diagnosed.
diagnosis because the school was like, listen, he's got to have it.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you've got to go do it. So we're like, okay. So we took him. They're like, the doctor. First, they sent us to a doctor who was not a nice guy. Like, made him so mad the whole time. Like, calling him by different names, and he hates being called by any name but his own.
I was like, what are
He's
you
like, why are you doing
doing?
this to him? And he's like, he does have it.
Yeah.
Like, that torment him is how you find out that he has autism.
That is- that is
terrible. This is a terrible way to pick someone out. I thought, what in the world's wrong with you?
I was like,
We all got really mad at the doctor.
Oh, yeah.
Even our first sign. It's like, this is not justice.
I was like, this is absolutely terrible. And I was like, I will burn your practice to the ground for this.
But I think once we got him diagnosed and it started, getting him the help and the school, some of the teachers in the school really
Yes,
worked
they were good.
really well with him, and they worked with us to work with him. And that was the elementary school. The intermediate school is where we ended up having the problems.
Yeah.
But they worked really well with him. They helped us, and he's actually the one that kept saying to me, "You're autistic too." I'm like, I think I'm just ADHD.
Yeah, he was in denial.
Yeah, and then we took the
RADS test?
because he kept bugging us about it, so we were like, okay, fine.
Yes, I am the least high scorer, and William is like, I am the best, I am the winner.
Not by much.
Yeah, he's
My
right
problem
behind.
with that test is it wouldn't let me explain my answers. I think if I could have explained my answers, it would have understood what I was getting at, but it would not.
Was it a test that was 1 to 10?
No, it was like 80 questions, and the way the test goes is like, it asks you a question, like, you say, it's like, have you ever, how do you feel about something? It's like a random question, and it's like, well, I guess it's not random.
Like,
They're
do
all
you
the
have,
same.
say, for instance, do you have issues making friends or something like
Yeah,
that?
it's like,
talking to people.
yes, now, and as a child, or yes, true only as a child, true only as an adult, or never true. And I'm like, it depends on the situation. Like, I can make great friends if I go around certain people. This is not a good.
We have an anime convention.
Yeah, like I go to an anime convention, I'm talking to everybody. It's like, those are my people. Send me to the grocery store, I'm talking to nobody. So it's like,
That's where they get you.
Please.
That's what the test is intended to do. You question it. Yeah. So I did. So we do a precursor. So you do like a shortened version of it. Can't remember what it's called. But you answer maybe 10 to 20 questions, and then you submit that to your GP, and then they take you through the process. And I did mine with my wife, and I was like talking him out loud, and we would just laugh. They'd be like, "Do you enjoy social action?" Never.
That's
So
funny.
yeah, it was it's quite different, and that's sort of one of the things I was like interested about. How does it work? Because do you have like healthcare and systems over there like we have the NHS? I think it works a bit different, doesn't it? We basically have everything paid for through national insurance.
Oh
We'll
yeah.
have to have diagnosis all done through that.
we have to pay for our own insurance stuff. And even then, it's still hard to get any kind of diagnosis for that as an adult. As a
Yeah.
child, you can go get it done. Once you hit adulthood, it's like really hard to get them. And a lot of the insurance companies are like, you're an
really
adult.
need to
You've
know.
already made it this far.
You're
I
good.
think you'll make it some more. I'm like, do not realize that I'm like on the edge at the moment. Like, I woke up today and I was like, I don't want to bed. And I couldn't figure out why. There's something else. Like, I'm not depressed. I don't want to go meet the people.
And then you slap PTSD on top of it. I'm like, we got a motherfucking alphabet up in this bitch. Like, what the hell?
It's
I'm
like,
fucking exhausted.
it's tiresome.
Yeah, no, they're a bit more acceptable for like late diagnosis here, but you could be waiting 2 to 5 years for a diagnosis because of just the sheer capacity of doing it. And that's for kids as well. Like my son is on what we call the pathway, and he had an 18-month wait from day one, and that could be extended if the local assessor decides to go off sick or leave their job. Yeah. So it has its benefits, NHS. Obviously, it's not free. We pay national insurance that comes totally out of our wage, but it is a lot better system. Some people that sadly have to pay like private or go through private insurers. So are you both diagnosed, or are you self-diagnosed, or a mixture of both?
I am currently just diagnosed with ADHD and, well, I guess PTSD, but that's not on the divergent side. And then
That's just adding on.
we did the test thing.
So,
So that we can take that for a diagnosis
yeah, but
to a place and let them do it.
I'm not diagnosed, and I was very much in denial until like a month and a half ago.
I just started sitting there like, this is you. This right here.
Literally,
This is you.
That's how I got it figured out. He just kept sending me reel after reel after reel, and I was like, mother.
Well, she told me one day, she's like, I feel like everybody I meet is like this. I'm like, yeah, but birds of a feather flock together. You ever heard that one?
I was like, all of my friends are divergent.
I'm like,
I love weirdos.
in the U.S., it's only like 2% of the U.S.
2.2%, yeah.
So it's like 1% of the world. It's a very small percentage of us, but we just seem to huddle together.
100%.
Oh,
Yeah, like you said, we like each other's company. It allows us to unmask.
oh, it's so much easier.
So yeah, but for me, I was kind of self-diagnosed. I'm 38, and I was diagnosed at 38. But I kind of knew. I was very fortunate that I was in an environment that allowed me to just be weird and accept all my quirks, and my career up to this point has very much allowed it. So I realized the very fortunate position I was in. So hence why I get to talk to everyone about how now you really embracing being neurodivergent. Now it's fun.
Yeah, it was like a really, I'm like, how the hell do you be shocked by yourself? Like, like, hello, what the fuck? Like, I literally, so like, I had went out to like some founders dinners and all kinds of stuff, and I was like, so I almost had a meltdown because I was gonna have to figure out valet parking at this specific place.
This is where we should have been like, you know what? I think so.
And I'm like, so let's research this shit.
2 days before the event, we're like researching how the valet there works.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I have to like look like I know what the hell I'm doing. And I'm like, oh no, this is like a really fancy place. And I'm like, oh shit, I can't even remember the damn forks. And I was like, it's okay, I'll just watch somebody that's there. So then I'm like sitting there, and there's this one guy, and he was like, I come and eat here like 3 days a week. And I was like, that's the guy I'm watching. So I just like did what he did, and then like I'm hearing like, oh yeah, masking and body doubling and all. I'm like, the fuck? Oh my god, like all this stuff, and I'm like, oh geez, I'm so exhausted. So like I'm excited to go as I'm getting ready, and then I get in the car, the anxiety hits. I'm like, you can do it. You've already researched your valet parking. You know the items on the menu that you want to eat. It's okay.
That's another thing we have to do before you go places.
Oh my God. This one's the worst. The fucking worst.
I eat the same thing, so I don't know how I'm the worst. But I act like I'm gonna get something different. Never do.
Every time.
Like, well,
Every time.
If you know it's good, why would you risk getting something not
But
good?
why would you act like you are not gonna get
Because
it?
I might. I need to surprise myself. Maybe one day I'm gonna be like, oh, I actually want to try this, but I don't.
No, the other day, our oldest son came down 600 miles he drove because what? I don't know. He don't want to fly. I don't know. He's just now figuring out he's autistic too. And I'm like, I'm so sorry, baby. I didn't know how to deal with you. I'm so sorry. We really fucked up really, really bad with lots of things. And I really apologize, but my bad. And now we'll do better. But we took him out to eat. And so our 17-year-old is like, I don't know what I want to eat. And I was like, oh my God, this is going to take forever. I was like, why did I not remember to pre-plan these people? And so he's over here trying to help him. And I'm like, oh my God, I sat everybody in the wrong spot. The worst picker with the second worst picker. Not good.
And it's a place none of us have ever been to.
We've
so
never been there.
So I haven't even got to
go.
look to see what I'm gonna eat yet. So it's a little bit.
So he's helping him look through and like for 15 minutes maybe. And so finally William's like, well, I want this like a certain side. He's like, but it doesn't, like he was gonna pick a entree he didn't want because it came with a certain side he wanted.
Or it came with two sides, and he wanted two sides.
And I'm like, oh my God, just buy an extra side. And he's like, I don't know.
It says one side. Like, yes, but you can always buy another side. You don't have to just get one side because it says one side.
And so I'm like, oh my gosh. And then over here, we've got the 13-year-old who's like getting a little too hungry. And he's like, oh my God.
Too hungry, the lighting is not right. There's a
The
car
baby
horn that's
crying.
going on.
I was like, why did we do this?
They put us in the middle where people are just walking around us, so all of us are not having a good time. And before we even get seated, I'm looking at all of us as we're standing in a huddle. We're just kind of everybody. I'm like, we all look like a weird group of people. These people, I just know it. We're all just standing there rocking or flapping our arms or bouncing our feet, or we're standing like this. I'm like, how did we not ever realize we do this with our arms? It's very uncomfortable, but we do it because it gets comfortable until like we notice it. Then we're like, why do my arms hurt?
Yeah, so it's been like, I don't know, I feel like it's been more sensitive since I know what's happening.
I think you're just more aware of it. Because
Maybe I just
you've
don't
done
know.
this stuff. This is why I was sending the videos, okay? Because look, she's like, I think it's more sensitive, but I'm like, I feel like it's just you're more aware of it because we would go places, and I always get like these severe headaches anytime we're going anywhere. Like to like the day we get there, I'm just like, I can't survive anymore. My head is killing me just from the anxiety of going to be at this place with people around. And then afterwards, like the way up there, she would have like her moments where she's like stressed and I could see it. And then we
Panic
leave.
attack?
Yeah. And then when we leave and we're done, don't talk to us for days. We have to record.
We're
We
like,
are hiding. Like, I feel like it's not gotten worse. You're just more like with me walking through the
Slept
store.
13 hours when we got to Vegas.
Yeah. Like we got to Vegas. We flew there. We had to go to Nashville, which is like a 4-hour drive. And then we had to go through, we went to a Buc-ee's, which is a crazy store the size of a Walmart. It's huge and
He's like, what the
insane.
fuck is a Walmart? You have,
That's right, I know what I'm wearing.
you have Walmart over there?
It's called Asda.
It's
Owned
not
by the same
man.
company.
It's owned by Walmart. It's the same thing.
It's owned
Anyway,
by
it's
Walmart.
like insane. There's lots of people there. So that's our first mistake. Then we get to the airport, which is a lot of people. Second mistake.
Well, what
Then
did
we
you
get on-
do?
Teleport. Then we get on the plane where people are able to bump into us because we're like sitting right next to them. Third mistake. So by the time we get to Vegas, finally get out of the airport, get to the hotel, she's like, gone. I didn't see her till the next day. Oh, I saw her, but she was like the whole time. So it was like,
You had to clarify.
yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I did see her, but she was sleeping for like 13 hours straight. She slept the entire day we were there when we first got there, and all night, and then woke up the next day and was like, I'm still so tired. I'm like, I bet it was exhausting yesterday. I want to disappear.
Yeah.
But she did that. She's done this like our entire marriage. So I'm like, I feel like it's not gotten worse. You're just noticing it more.
I'm just like, oh, well, I have an excuse.
That's like I went to culinary art school. I do love to cook, but there are times where I'll go in the kitchen. I'm just like, how come I can't remember how to cook this? I've cooked this so many times. It's like I get so overwhelmed with the day-to-day stuff that I just can't do the things that I do more often. I'm like, why is my brain not braining? This is not working. And then I get so frustrated. I'm just like, we're not eating.
Yeah, I'm like,
Order something or we're starving because I can't cook today. I don't know what's. And now it's kind of been like, oh, okay.
yeah, now
Just
that we
burn it out.
understand it, like before I'd be like, what the fuck, man? Just get
cook
on
something.
with it.
I'm like, fine. Pizza. Throw that in the oven. Chicken nuggets.
100%. Like from the restaurant thing, I think everything is. No one really appreciates how mentally and physically draining it is to be neurodivergent. Neurodivergent.
That's a
It's
hard
late,
fucking
right?
word. I like the neurospicy better.
Yeah, so no one really appreciates how draining it is to be neurospicy before really accepting it. For me, I couldn't surprise my wife because, like you said, I would have to look at the restaurant, look at the menu, ensure there was something that she could like it, have a plan B, C, and D, and then by the time I'd done that, I was knackered and I didn't want to do it anymore. And then even buying her flowers was an issue until I learned what flowers that she actually liked. And even then I could trip up and get the wrong ones, so I don't do it that often, so please
Wrong
don't
color.
throw Joe under the bus.
You know what it means? Yeah. James, do you know what yellow roses mean? You?
Means they had pretty roses at the store and I got her for her because I was thinking about her. That's what they mean.
No. This was in 2012, I remember. It means friendship, and I was
Are we
not
or are
happy.
we
No,
not? Are
I
we or
wouldn't
are
know
we
that.
not friends? Are you my best friend or aren't you? I feel like we were best friends. So I got the rose that said friendship, even though I didn't know what it meant.
Know that.
It was mostly because I saw the roses, they was pretty, and all the other roses looked terrible at the store. So I'm like, well, I'm not gonna get you the other ones because then you're really gonna be mad at me. Should have just went after the red ones that were dying. At least they would have meant love.
Oh yeah, I bought a few wrong batches before, and then I
no.
soon learned that those weren't appropriate.
They should teach that in school. That's what it should be. Guys should just have their own class where they learn. Listen, these are the color roses you can buy for this person. These are the color roses you can buy for this person. These color roses you can't buy for anybody. Just don't ever touch them. These flowers are for your grandma. Okay.
Your grandma.
Oh, like I didn't know what. How was I supposed to know? I never got flowers.
Yeah, I've never received flowers either. I've got a Lego bonsai tree. That's about it.
That would
That's
be
cool.
awesome. I love Legos. That with my kids.
Oh,
Yes, I love Legos. I just don't like making Legos with the kids.
you said bonsai.
He said
Yes.
a Lego bonsai tree.
Oh, Lego. I missed the Lego part.
I
was
caught
like, what the
I caught the Legos.
I did try and grow a bonsai tree, but it takes years, so I lost interest. So,
I can't. Oh,
so neurodivergent,
We killed
dopamine
plants.
went.
We forget plants and kill them. They die. Or overwater them from hyperfixation.
one of the two. But no, I love Legos. It's just our kids want to rebuild them in different shapes. So I'm like, they must be built and never touched again. Do not take them apart. If that's not how it looks on the box, that's not how it looks when we finish it. So they won't build Legos with me anymore.
I
like,
have to agree with that.
When I watch the Lego movie and he's got the crackle, I'm like, that's the hero of this whole story. Y'all are misunderstanding. The crackle is the hero. He is making sure everything has its place and it's in its place and it's right. That villain knew what he was talking about. He wasn't a villain at all. Perspective.
Excellent. All right, guys. So, what's one way that you both show up unapologetic? I understand, Jessica, you said you're freshly finding out, but you seem like a sort of person that was already quite unapologetic, and now you're just embracing it even more. And Joe,
Yeah.
you've had plenty of time to just be you. So, what are those one thing each? What really is sort of like what makes you unapologetic about who you are?
I think growing up, I was bullied when I was in elementary school a lot because not only was I ADHD, but also had a speech impediment and dyslexic and a reading comprehension disorder. So I guess I did just need to be in that special class they put me in. But I wasn't happy about it. So I got picked on a lot until my best friend was like, you can fight them back. So I did. Don't condone violence, but sometimes when people, you gotta stick up for yourself, right? And I guess after that experience, I realized people are going to either like me or they're not going to like me. And as long as I like me at the end of the day, I don't give a shit. I guess that'd be about the time that I was like, I don't care how people see me for the most part. Like when I in the military, I had to, there was that mask you put on, you do what you're supposed to do. But outside of that, it's like I just did whatever I really wanted to do, and then if I had went somewhere where I didn't like going, I just didn't go.
Yeah.
So I'm always unapologetic about, like, if someone's like, let's go here, I'm like, no, I'm not going. We're gonna come over here, I'm not showing up there. Like when I met Jessica, it was only because I was tricked into going somewhere I didn't want to go.
Yes, that's so funny. Thank
And
you
I
so
got
much.
there and I was like, I was miserable and angry and I wanted to leave the entire time. I was just like,
And I gravitated to that energy, and I was like, I must help this man. It's so sad. And I want to torture him by being like, hey, how are you doing?
so it worked out.
I was going to say, Joe, there's not a good sort of example of why we shouldn't stay away from these events.
But I was not happy about it. I still didn't want to be there. I was just like, can we meet somewhere else? Good night. Yeah, and then she drags me back to those places. I'm like,
he's like, but yeah, I guess for me, like I grew up in a weird family. Like my family, like I couldn't wear makeup, I couldn't wear pants, I couldn't listen to anything secular or anything like that. So I was used to being that kind of weird. But then I was emotional. Like my family, my brother will tell you, like before you came along, no one hugged each other or said, I love you. And then here you go. I'm him at that point, and he's like, I'm 14, and here comes you, and you're like, hugs and attention, and we're all like, so I'm like, what the fuck? Why am I getting caught in the one that needs all this shit? And I always just called them emotionally constipated. So I'm just like, look, you emotionally constipated fuckers, you're gonna love me and you're gonna give me what I need. So just coming up as a kid and being so different in my family, I'm just like, well, you're gonna love me that way. And then I actually went, like, I guess it would be like just going backwards whenever my mom passed in 2012. She was like my best friend and like my rock. And then whenever she passed, I was just terrified, like, oh my God, like, now what? And so then it's like been a struggle to like find myself again, and that confidence. And so that's what I've been working on for like the past decade. And just like figuring out all these things about myself and being like, oh my gosh. And I'm like, oh my goodness, how many of my friends have no idea that this is going on with them? And I hear some of the things that they say about themselves, and like they are not unapologetically them because they feel like they're all going to be judged. And so part of my reason for honestly just the last couple months really just coming out and being like, fuck it. This is it. Is because I know that I have a lot of people in my life that are scared to do it. And I'm like, come on in, guys, it works good. So, yeah, that's my story.
No, absolutely beautiful story. And I can relate to both. Like, Joe, I remember going into a job that I had once and someone squared up to me and went, why don't you like me? Why are we not? And I went, I just come here to earn money, not to make friends. So if we get on, great, but we don't. So let's just leave it there. I ended up being a manager in that place and going up the career chain through there. So I went from lifeguard to operations manager in this leisure centre. And yeah, I remember that. It was like, why are we not friends? But I'm like, because I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make money.
that's what I say. People are like, why don't you have any friends? Because I don't come to work for friends. I didn't fill out an application. What do you want? Oh, I want to be paid in friendship. I don't listen. When I clock out, I'm not thinking about you people. I don't want to have anything. In fact, when I clock in, I'm not thinking about you people. Otherwise, the only thing I'm thinking about is, are you doing your job so I can do my job? Because I want a paycheck and leave. I have no business being here. If I could stay in my hobbit hole, I would. And now I can.
And now you do.
And that was actually mentioned in my autism assessment. It's like, how do you sort of know the difference between colleague and friend? And I literally went, I don't care about my colleagues outside of work. As harsh as it sounds, like there is no emotional attachment to my colleagues, or especially after hours. It's just not there. It's like a door that closes. And Jessica, again, with what you were saying, it's why I did this podcast. It's to just let people know, look, you can be weird and entertaining and yourself, and to not be afraid. Like some of your recent posts of idiots on social media that just don't get it, or people that are scared to embrace who they are. Yeah, I think those answers were great. So, guys, I want to know what is one.
Like,
You're,
oh shit.
I didn't study.
so, like, give me your most glorious, like, chaotic neurodivergent moment that you thought, like, oh shit, maybe that was a bit proper neurodivergent, and or so detached from neurotypical that it went completely above their head.
I have so many. We actually
What's your best one?
actually started a chat on ChatGPT where we asked Chat, hey, this is what I
On a
did.
scale of 1 to
Yeah, on a
10.
scale from 1 to 10, how neurodivergent would you find this? One of my things is like, I don't like rain. And it's not the effect of water hitting me, it's the fact that it's dirty. Rainwater, I mean, my whole process for this is there's pollution in the air. There's dirt in the air. So when water comes from the sky, it collects that. So when you get rained on, it is dirty water. And I do not like getting dirty. So my whole thing is like, I don't go out if it's going to rain because I do not want to get stuck in rain. I don't want to get dirty sky water on me. And Chat's like, yeah, that's pretty up there.
So how did that affect sort of like serving as well? Like, if you don't mind me asking, because I was in the Navy for a spell and I got dirty.
The Army has a very, like, in training, once you're out of training, it doesn't really have much effect on you. Like, you can shower and stuff. As long as you're not in the field, you can take a shower for as long as you want. In training, we're on a clock. So you line up, go in the shower, get out of the shower. So it's really fast. So we would go out in the field, do field trainings. They would forcefully make us like go in the mud and do all these things that would get you dirty, and I hated it, didn't want to do it. So I do it as fast as I could. And then at night, when we're back in the barracks and everybody else is sleeping, we have to do what's called fire guard, which is where 2 people have to stay up for an hour and keep an eye on everybody, and then they would wake up someone else for their shift or whatever. So whenever somebody else was doing fire guard, I would stay up extra late, and then I'd sneak in there and take an actual shower because I hated getting dirty. And my drill sergeants, they hated the fact that I didn't like getting dirty. So they would always make me do things extra dirty. I'm like, I don't want to do it. It made me, it just hated it. And I could always find a way to do certain tasks and get the least amount of dirt on me, and they'd make me do it again.
Yeah, I can imagine it.
But once I got out of training, it wasn't that big a deal. Once I got like into my unit and stuff, other than deploying to Iraq, it wasn't like, I was having to go out and go through an obstacle course every other day or any of this stuff. Other than like training to go over to Iraq and then in Iraq, I mean, it was pretty easy to avoid getting dirty.
I think I'm pretty normal.
Yeah,
This is the fucking problem. I'm like, what are you talking about? You probably know more shit. He's just like this and that and this and that. And I'm like, that is just normal.
We'd have to go through our chat and stuff. We sat there and we were like talking about some stuff.
What about the waiter? Okay, so apparently the waiter came up and was like, so we don't drink at all. And so the waiter came up and he's like, okay, so we have this special on our beer, and just like keeps going through it. And I'm like looking at him like, I should stop him. Oh no, now it's gonna be weird if I stop him right now. Like, it's just a fucking odd place to say. Like, why didn't I say it first? And then after he finished, I'm like, oh, thank you, we don't drink. Why the fuck did I just say? Why the fuck?
Or when he's telling us about the steaks and the different cuts and the qualities and how to fix them, I'm sitting there thinking, I'm a chef. I know all these things. But I don't want to interrupt him.
And
I
then-
don't want to be rude and stop him. This is what he's supposed to do. He's his job. I don't want to take that. I don't want to like interrupt him.
And then I asked you how I eat my steak.
Yeah, and then she couldn't remember. She didn't know how she ate her steak because I do all the cooking. I cook her steak, so I know.
Like-
And I also order her steak, so I know how she eats it.
It's like that's outsourcing your brain to somebody else or something.
Just like I
I'm
asked
like,
you all a bunch of questions. I'm like, I don't know what we do.
I'm like, oh my God. I had like literally 2 hours we spent in the parking lot going back and forth, like, how neurodivergent is this? Oh, 9.5. I'm like,
Well-
you got infinity on something.
There was a little card on the table.
Oh,
that,
shit.
like, where you mark like your experience there. And one of the questions was, did you see a line dance while you were there? And the manager was like, oh, we're about to have them come out.
Well,
Well,
you marked no.
Oh, I said no because I haven't seen it. And then I brought it up. I was like, well, I would have marked yes, but didn't see a dance, so I can't do it. And he goes, oh, we're about to call them out. I said, oh, I guess I'll mark yes. And then he goes, oh, well, y'all can go. I'm like, oh, no. I said I saw a line dance. I got to wait. I can't just leave without seeing it. Then I'm a liar. And then I got to take the yes away. I'm not going to lie. I don't care if it's a paper without my name on it. It's lying. So I stood to wait for them to do a line dance because I don't lie. I don't like to lie. I hate being lied to and I hate lying. Like, that's why growing up, that's another thing got me in trouble. Everybody's like, gotta be honest. But then they ask me a question and I tell them, oh, is my baby adorable? No, your baby's ugly. Is my dog adorable? No, your dog is also ugly. Don't. And they're like, you're just mean. I'm like, no, I don't want to. I'm being honest. I don't find your baby adorable. Just because it's a baby, don't think it adorable.
Yeah, that's
Like,
one of the many
yeah.
conversations I've had with my wife about ugly babies. I don't understand why people are obsessed with newborns.
Some of them are adorable. I have seen some newborn babies. I'm like, oh, that's an adorable baby. Then I'll see something like, are you sure that's human? Put that back. I think you kept the wrong thing. Like, and but they're like that's brutally honest. I'm like, what? No, it's just honest. There's no brutally honest. You're either honest or you're a liar. There's no in between. And then chat's like, yeah, no, that's definitely on the neurodivergent scale. You need to be honest. I'm like, oh.
Just seemed right to me.
I'm like, so people are going around just lying to each other and it's okay. But if I go around telling people the truth, I'm the bad guy. I'm the asshole. I think if I tell you that, yes, your hair looks terrible, I'm being kind. But if someone goes around and tells you, no, your hair looks great, then you go out there and some actual mean person starts making fun of you for your hair, who's really the bad person? Your friend that lied to you and let you go out there's the bad person. I mean, come on.
That's true.
But that's not how the world sees it. And
That's
it
awesome.
makes me so mad. I'm like, well, don't ask me questions. 'Cause I'm going to tell you what you don't want to hear, I guess.
Yeah, 100%. I think I mentioned in the last podcast, I don't argue with people because I don't like to be caught out in a lie. So if I'm arguing, it's because I know the truth. I know you're either, yeah. So I know you either don't know the facts or you're hiding something from me. So I'll argue just to sort of like prove the point. Other than that, I just won't because it has that risk of being caught in a liar.
Yeah, and another thing is, like, if I am having, like, any kind of argument and stuff, or I'm trying to bring up something, it's not because I want to be right. I can be wrong. I just want to make sure the facts are out there and we know forever. If you're telling me something and I'm telling you something and we're on opposite sides and I'm like, oh, well, let's look it up. It's not so I can prove that I'm right. It's so I can prove whatever the right thing is. I don't care if I'm right or wrong.
Whoever's
I
right.
have no emotional stake in the conversation. I have the emotional stake in the truth. And yeah.
You should have been a liar.
Actually, being dyslexic makes it really difficult for me to read like other things. But legal documents, I can read those without a problem. And I love law. Like in school, we had actually when I went to middle school, we had legal classes. We had to take like a few like legal things to learn, like the history of the U.S. and how the laws work and stuff. And I got really into that. And so I still I'll go up and I'll look court cases up. I'll look up legal documents, and I like them because there's no interpretation. How it is written is how it is interpreted. There is no, well, I meant it this way. Well, you should have fucking wrote it that way, Sally, because this is what it said.
Yeah, Sally, you bitch.
So it's like, my whole thing is like, if I say something, that's how I feel. That's like, my kids are always like, why don't you look happy? You're not smiling. Like, because I told you I'm happy. My face does not have to leave my comfort zone for you to know I'm happy. If I'm happy and I say I'm happy, I'm happy. Otherwise, I'm a liar.
Yeah, that was a conversation I had to have with my son.
Yeah, it's like if you see me
Really?
smiling really big, that's an outward expression of the joy I'm feeling, and it's not going to stay that way. I want to go back to my comfort happy. It's like
I like that one. I'm gonna steal that one. My
Comfort
comfort
happy.
happy, not my resting bitch face. It's,
Yeah, that's what I asked Chad about that. I was like, everybody always tells me I have resting bitch face, which doesn't make sense to me because
I'm not a bitch.
I'm happy. And why would I put my face in a position where my muscles are going to hurt to show someone how I feel on the inside when I just told them I'm happy? Why can't my face stay in a position that makes me comfortable?
I've practiced smiling in the mirror before because I knew I was having photos done. It's
Oh, my photos look like this. Every once in a while, they'll get a smile, but you gotta make me, you gotta make me laugh. Like I smile when I laugh because I said that is a full body expressional emotion thing. So laughing makes your whole face move, and that's why it hurts from laughter.
Yeah.
When you're angry, your facial expression changes because that's also a full body expression thing. When you're happy, that should be calm and content. You're just happy. Why does your whole body and face have to represent this and be in pain? Makes no sense.
it's funny you should say that because that's how I described happy in my autistic assessment as contentment because everything
Yeah.
else is exhausting.
If
Joe-
it's going to make me sore and tired later, it is not happy. It is either extreme joy or anger. But happy is like
One or the other. That's not good.
happy is my comfort. That's like in that movie Man of the House with Tommy Lee Jones. He goes, "This is my happy face." I understand that. You're constant,
Yes, Tommy.
comfortable. I get that.
Joe, you mentioned just then that you're dyslexic, which is kind of a decent segue to sort of for you to explain the process of writing your new book and
Oh,
then tell me
yeah.
about it as well.
Shocker. for
Writing
sure.
my new
First
book
off.
writing a book never crossed my mind in my life. In school, I used to like poetry because poetry you don't have to follow any like rules really. Poetry is just it's out there, and being dyslexic, a lot of times I will jumble up words. Even when I speak, sometimes like people are like, "Oh, it's only when you read." No. When I speak, I can literally say 2 words perfect with them swapping first letters. And it's like, how did you even make a word out of that? It makes no sense. I don't fucking know. It just happens. But I loved poetry, but I never was into reading because it took me too long because I also have a reading comprehension disorder. So trying to focus on reading and understanding what I'm reading was just more than I was willing to deal with. So I was going to do last year I was going to do a YouTube channel.
You did.
I did do a YouTube channel. I ended up slowing down on it to the point where I don't do it. But I slowly got to that position. Hang on, before you stroke out of me.
Don't.
I used ChatGPT to make an avatar because I was like, I don't want my face being on there all the time. I wanted an avatar there. So I always my gamer tag and stuff is Demon Lord Zeal. So I'm like, that's what I want to have it. I'm going to use my gamer tag. I'm really big into anime, so I was like, ChatGPT, make me a dark elf. And I described it, made the image, showed it to Jessica. Jessica's like, oh, I want to make one. So she made my avatar of a companion,
Yeah.
a little wifey. That was fine. And I was like, Chat, put these 2 avatars in a photo together. Put them together. They were like holding each other. I was like, that would make an amazing romance novel.
I was like, do
And
it.
she's like, write it. I'm like, okay. I was like, I'm just gonna do this for fun. Ended up not writing a romance novel at all. So
Surprise.
I go to chat and I'm like, how am I gonna do this? Because I know for a fact if I start typing stuff, I'm going to go to type a word, but I'm saying it in my head, and I'm not going to put most of the words down on paper. I'm going to type a few words, think it in my head, and I'm gonna be like, okay, I put it all down, and then I'm gonna read it over and like, fuck did I put? How is there like I'm missing like half the paragraph? It makes no sense. So I'm like, I'm gonna figure this out. So she told me just use chat. So I tried it with chat, told it like a part of the story, and it was just like it came back with some awful stuff. I'm like, what the fuck is this? So then I realized you have to be very specific with chat. So whenever I think of like story and stuff, I think of it in like episode forms of like an anime. So what I did, I was like, okay, so I'm gonna write these chapters with many episodes in each chapter. So I got on there, and at first I was using the little voice thing where I just talk to chat, but chat kept interrupting me and trying to do it when I was in the middle of describing. So I was like, it's not going to work. So I just used speech to text on there because you don't have to be like to put it in chat. I don't have to put anything like I don't have to do punctuation, grammar can be off. It doesn't matter. Chat will fix all the grammar and stuff. I use chat as a ghostwriter / editor. So I told chat, you're a fantasy novelist who's like really big an anime enthusiast. You're a world-renowned editor, and gave it these little prompts to think like. And then I was like, so here's the story. So I told it every detail, like what time of day it was in this scene, how the character was like standing, how he felt, what he was, leaning against, who he was talking to, how he sounded. Was he excited? Was he nervous? Like every little detail. If he smelled something, I said it in there, and then chat would come up with a little scene for that. And then I'd go and I'd have chat read it back to me. I'd listen to it. I'm like, okay, well, right here you said this. That's not what I said. I said this. And chat would go in there, and then I'd listen to it again, and I would go and tweak it. And then when I get that finalized, I'd move it to a Word doc. So it took me 8 months of like building like small chunks of a book, and then making a bunch of them, and then having to write little scenes to connect all the chunks together.
And I was reading behind.
Yeah, and she would read behind to make sure I didn't mess anything.
I need more of the story.
And then I would go and I'd be like, okay, I'd get my workout done, go get in the shower, and then while I'm in the shower, I'm like, oh, I need to redo this entire part because now I want to do this. And so everything she read doesn't apply anymore. Not to redo the story. But it took a lot of Chat GPT being my ghostwriter and making sure chat like stayed on topic, because chat will try to anticipate what you're wanting, and it's like, no, that's not what I'm wanting. Listen, I am the one who watched anime forever. Just do what I say.
Yeah.
I agree. I use ChatGPT quite a lot. It takes away a lot of the thinking, but again, like you said, a lot of the groundwork is needed. It's not just a case of simply entering the prompt. But I think for like a real takeaway here, not only did you publish a book and something that you want to do, is you developed a process that now you can share your story and help all those guys and girls that might have struggled in the past because of the same reasons you did. You've discovered a way to give them a voice as well as created your own. So make sure that you're sharing that story as well, mate. Like, you've got this book, that's great, and you can continue that, but your journey to create that book is just as important, because you can inspire so many people that are struggling before this tech even existed, and you grafted and you found a way of doing it. So please, mate, don't stop telling that story.
I actually got a podcast. Jesse got me on another podcast that I did the podcast, and then the recording messed up, so we got to re-record it. But
he is also neurodivergent. I've known him from my blogging days for like a decade or more, and he's like one of my idols. And he felt so bad that the tech screwed up, and I was like, oh no, his rejection sensitivity is on point. So I was like, oh my God, it is okay. And he was like, hey, it's fine, man. Like I got the jitters out. I got like all this stuff going.
But it being messed up also allowed for me, it gave me some more stuff that I want to talk about, because in the book, I use I don't like the whole nitty gritty of everyday life in stories. And I like how a lot of stories will use time skips. So whenever the person's going to do the same repeated actions for a long period of time, they'll just skip to the end and kind of give you a recap. Well, in the story, I have that a few times, just like in an anime. It'd be like 2 years later, 3 months later, this. So I utilize time skips in the book, but in scenes, I mention things that happened during those time skips, but I don't go into detail on them. So I was once again in the shower. The shower is where I do all my great thinking. But once again, I was in the shower and I was like, genius idea. Anime have these like filler episodes where it's just like in between moments, right? They never really happened, but they happen kind of deal. So they just throw them in there to add some extra episodes. So I'm like, I could write like filler content for the books because I've actually, it's going to be a 5-book saga, and each book has time skips in it already. So I'm like, I could use those little moments in there to send out little stories of like those events and call it fate, because my saga's called Fatebound. I got Fatebound, Bond's Lost. The next one's Fatebound, Rise of a Demon Lord. Then there's 3 more that will also be Fatebound, and then a little title. So this one, these little story snippets will be like Fatebound misadventures, because it's like all the little mishaps that happened in the time skips, and they'll just be like funny little things that help you like understand the characters and grow to like them a little bit more. And I was like, I didn't think of that whenever I was whenever I started the podcast.
Oh, good thing.
So it's like, it's good it messed up. Now we get to see this. It worked.
He will feel so much better.
That's what I told him. I was like, it worked out. He goes, oh, that's good. I'm like, yeah, so we're good.
Yeah, he's great. Like, actually super hypersensitive now about everybody's feelings, even more than I used to be. And I'm like, so this may
once again,
not
I think
you.
I think you just notice it more. You've always been this way.
Really? God damn. Yeah, shit, you're right. Yeah.
No. We were in Houston, Texas, and I had to stand outside while she sat on a park bench talking to a homeless woman for a long time while I'm uncomfortably standing there. Like, this
It was
lady
only
could
like
be a
30
murderer.
minutes. She did have a gun.
It felt like long.
She did have a gun.
Like, this lady could be a murderer.
She did ask me, she's like, hey, are you packing? And I'm like, lunch? And she's like, gun. And I'm like, no, I don't have a gun.
We flew here. We can't fly with a gun.
Well, and I'm wearing a little tiny dress. Where the fuck am I putting this shit? And she's like, it's very dangerous out here. You should have a gun. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I gave her my phone number. What the hell?
She saw a lady look sad and goes sits with her and talks. I see someone look sad. I'm like, don't make eye contact.
Watching her, she smelled so bad. But I was just like, you need this. I feel like you might be on suicide watch or something.
I see someone that looks sad. I'm just like, don't make eye contact. Don't make eye contact. She sees someone sad. She's like, oh. So I'm like, you're just noticing it more. But this has always been a thing. I thought something was wrong with me this whole time. I'm like, why don't I feel like this? Why do I avoid people so much? And we're just too different. But you also get like where you force yourself into these moments, and then afterwards we're worn out, burned out, and you're just like, I can't go do anything for days.
I'm stopping doing
So it's like you force yourself to do what you think is needs to be done, the right thing, and then you can't do anything for days. And I'm just like, I'm not doing that.
And that's the thing.
I don't like people enough to do that.
Like, I had to learn that my family has to come first. Like, I can't, like, help the world out and then, like, have nothing for my family. So, like, that's why I like doing social media, because it's like I can talk to thousands of people on there and help a lot of people without being one-on-one, and, like, doesn't take a bunch of energy. You just record yourself, hello, and then you're like, you put it out there. Before, yeah, I'm seeing it. Like, I would be on the phone for hours with people, just like talking them through shit. Like, hey, everything you want is outside your comfort zone. Like, you can do it. Like, let's go. And they're like, well, here's my like long list of things that is going on. Okay, no worries, we will solve this. Like, just like hours, and he's over there like, hello.
I am not the person to come talk to when you're having
No.
issues. Unless we're like good friends. Like, if it's like a random person or someone that I see as an acquaintance, it's like, I'm sorry. It's not that I don't care. It's just that I don't have the bandwidth for everyone.
Yeah. Like, what work? We got a whole lot to do.
I'm a whole lot to deal with. There was a time in my life where I had to convince myself to get out of bed and live. And I'm like, I don't want to die, but I'm also not against it. I'm not like actively going out there trying, but I'm not turning the wheel really quick if something's coming, you know.
Well, at least you aren't anymore.
Well, yeah.
So.
But it's like at that time I was like, if a truck coming head on, I'm not like turning the wheel really fast, you know. I'm like, so I don't have the emotional bandwidth to deal with other people's problems because I'm barely dealing with mine.
Right.
Well then, Joe, you're probably not the best person to answer this next question.
Okay.
Just if someone was struggling, they're at the start of their neurodivergent journey, they're sort of like trying to work it out. You know, you've noticed they're a bit quirky. You share some interests. There's someone you know, if that makes it easier. What sort of just a little bit of advice that you'd sort of give to them to sort of ease that journey better than what you might have had it.
He's like, don't look at me. So, what I'm currently doing to all of my friends is sending them funny little reels with very small type that says autism in there, but they're not really going to notice it until after they laugh at it. And then they're like, oh, fuck! This is the fifth one that I've laughed at because it's me.
We've changed their entire algorithm by the time it's
Yeah, I know. And then they're just like, why am I just getting autistic and ADHD feed all the time?
Why is this autism assessor lady showing up on my feed every day?
No, but okay. So for instance, my boss now knows that he definitely has ADHD. And so he's like, I'm like telling him all these things, and he's like, man, maybe I have ADHD. And then I'm like, da 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 da. He's like, oh shit, I definitely have ADHD.
I've sat at the table talking to this guy. He definitely has ADHD. Dude, we are like the same. Neither one of us are steel.
Or what?
I still. We're like.
Oh, I thought you said
I had
steel.
my southern accent come out for a second. I tried to keep it.
I just saw Iron Man, which is not steel.
Now,
Is he?
here's how my. No, he's not. I mean, I guess he is metal, but I mean.
I don't
No,
know.
it's too heavy.
Okay, what were you gonna say?
Okay, anyways, back to not Marvel. Here's where my contradictions of myself is. It's like, so if someone comes to me and they come to me with a problem that I'm like, you're just seeking, like, I don't know what it is, but I see people and I'm like, you're seeking attention. Those people,
Some people
kill me. They just destroy me. And you can, I don't know why, but I can tell. I'm like,
you don't want a solution.
it's something about them. Like, I have this, if I say something about a person, 99.9% I'm right. Like
So
every
far, it's been
every time we've ever met someone and I've said that's a terrible person, they're this way. Later on, we find out I was right from the beginning. Just I can read people. We can't even pick up a book or watch a show without me telling who the bad guy is.
I'm like, shut up.
The character hasn't even been introduced yet, and I've already solved the crime. It's just it's all the same plot line. Everyone's the same.
Yeah.
My boss.
No,
Autistic pattern recognition.
But like the contradiction of me is like if someone comes to me with an actual problem, I'm down to help them. But they've also got to want the help. Because I also don't like to waste my time. I am very like I get annoyed whenever I'm doing something for someone and it's like I'm doing everything and you're doing nothing. It annoys me to the point where I'm just like I'll just cut you off. I'll walk away from people and never say hey to you again. I don't care. I've got family members I haven't talked to in years because you didn't deserve you. I don't give people a forever pass. So if you don't keep trying as much as I'm trying to help you, then you obviously don't want it. I can't want it more than them. But I'll always reach and help people if they actually come and they're like, hey, I'm struggling with this. Like I got you. I'll give you some advice. It may not be the right advice. It'd be the advice that I know. It'd be advice that worked for me. It may not work for you. It's not advice and all neurodivergent stuff and the things that help with me and that I deal with to cope. It's not one size fits all. It's not like, oh, you're neurodivergent, so dinosaurs and chicken nuggets, you're gonna love that. That's your go-to thing. Dino chicken nuggets. I love some dino chicken nuggets. And I have smooth rocks. Me and my older son, we played with trains all day long when he was a kid. I love trains. But that's not everybody. Don't put us all in the same basket, right? What works for me may not work for you. I can just tell you what helped me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
and,
you're 100% right there. To be fair, I think one thing in neurodivergence is you need to want to be like better. You need to want to improve and understand it, not just look for that popularity label or whatever it is that's going on. Sadly now, which it was with mental health, probably about 10 or so years ago, people were seeking those labels for popularity, sadly. But you're right.
yeah.
It's not one size fits all, and we can only give people advice that work for us. But they've also got to be willing to accept it because sometimes the advice and the outcome isn't nice to hear. And I've spoken to
And-
many people that don't like the idea that they're neurodivergent.
Yeah,
Okay,
and
like-
that's another thing. It's like I can't give you advice to fix you because there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing to be fixed.
right.
You don't have a disease, you don't have an illness. There's no let me just take the red dye out of your food and you're gonna be fine now.
That guy.
Let me give you a shot. You're no longer gonna be neurodivergent. There is nothing wrong with you, so I don't have a cure for you. I can't cure something that's not a problem. You just need to learn to live in a world that's not built for you. It's like years ago, like in the 1600s, when left-handed people, the world wasn't built for people with left
Yeah.
hands.
Good
You
luck.
couldn't get something for a lefty. I remember growing up, even in the early 80s and early 90s. It was
Early
like
80s.
late 80s, early 90s. I don't remember when I was
How fucking old are you?
early 90s. I was going to say early 90s, but late 80s. Like, I used to grab stuff with my left hand because before I broke my left arm, I was left-handed. And then when I was like 2, I broke my left arm, so I stopped using my left hand. But they would always be like, here, your right hand. Put it in your right hand. You're supposed to hold it with this hand. Because the world wasn't built for left-handed people. The world's not built for neurodivergent. The neurotypicals don't want to change the world to include us right now. Because there's not enough of us. There's not enough left-handed people, but heck, you can go get a can opener for a left-handed person, and I don't know the difference. I grabbed the wrong one. Now I'm trying to open my fucking can, and my left hand don't work. No. There's less of them, and now I can't open my cans. I had to go buy another can opener. What's wrong? Doesn't work. So it's like you're not broken. There's nothing wrong with you. So no, you come to me saying you want to get fixed. I'm not going to help you because I can't fix something that's not broken.
Yeah.
But if you want help and to guide it through and a better understanding of yourself, sure, I'll give you the best advice I can, but I can't give you this is the solution to life. There's nothing. It's everyone's on their own journey.
Yeah.
Do you know what? And I think that is a beautiful place to sort of reel it in, really. So why don't you tell the guys, like, where can they find you on social media? How can they get in touch? Where can they get the book from? Just let us know how people can reach out to you.
I'm in a hobbit hole, so finding me would be very hard.
No.
I'm on Instagram. Where else am I? I'm on Facebook. I think I have a LinkedIn, but I don't know what password or anything. I can't get on it.
You will
I
never find anybody.
I don't
there.
remember how to get on my LinkedIn.
Demon Lord Steel on Instagram.
That one, and on YouTube. I think I'm on there too.
You
Somewhat.
don't
I haven't been on there
find
for months.
there.
I got overwhelmed with a book and I couldn't juggle both.
Yeah, he's like, sorry, YouTube.
I'll be back.
Yeah.
To promote my book. But you can find the book on Amazon and Kindle Unlimited. It's free to read on Kindle Unlimited, or you can get the digital or not but digital or paperback on both. But you can get the digital or the paperback off Amazon. In fact, the book's right there on the shelf behind Vegeta.
Yes, Vegeta's protecting it. And then I am on Instagram. I spend way too much time on there. So I'm on there as Jessica Lauren Vine and just sharing our crazy family and
Videos.
motivation, inspiration, random sales tips from actual work. It's like people just are like, what the hell is this? I'm like, ha, I actually have a job.
We function in real life.
I know, they're all just like, wait, I thought you were just that zoo creature.
I am a zoo creature. Once I got to stay home, I stopped being a real person. I became a animal behind a cage.
It's my pets.
Not that I'm not public, I'm good.
Oh my gosh. Oh, we've had such a good time, James. Thank you so much for having
It's
us.
been absolutely lovely to speak to you both, and such an example of that chaotic neurodivergence that being unapologetic. It's been absolutely awesome.
And then here I am just like swaying.